Hello, fourth graders. This is lesson 10.2, Classify Triangles. Please pause to write the lesson number and title in your notebook. Today's lesson objective is I can classify triangles by the size of their angles. Please pause again to write the I can statement in your notebook. First, let's look at the vocabulary that we are going to see in today's lesson. At the top of page 386, you will find these vocabulary words. The first vocabulary word we have is acute triangle. An acute triangle is a triangle with three acute angles. In lesson 10.1, we learned that an acute angle is an angle that measures less than 90 degrees. In an acute triangle, all three angles are acute, which means they each measure less than 90 degrees. The next vocabulary word we have is an obtuse triangle. An obtuse triangle is a triangle with one obtuse angle. The other two angles in an obtuse triangle are acute angles. In lesson 10.1, we learned that an obtuse angle is an angle that measures more than 90 degrees. So an obtuse triangle is made up of one obtuse angle and two acute angles. Our final vocabulary word is a right triangle. A right triangle is a triangle with one right angle. In lesson 10.1, we learned that a right angle measures exactly 90 degrees, forming a square corner. The other two angles in a right triangle are acute angles, measuring less than 90 degrees. So a right triangle is made up of one right angle and two acute angles. These three types of triangles are how we can classify triangles as either acute, obtuse, or right. Alright, fourth graders, let's start to classify triangles with reading Unlock the Problem on page 385. At the top it states a triangle is a polygon with three sides and three angles. You can name a triangle by the vertices of its angles. In the box below, you can see a triangle with the vertices A, B, and C. To the right of that, you can see all of the possible names for this one triangle. When you name a triangle, you first start by drawing a small triangle and then listing the three vertices of the triangle. Some examples are in the box of the triangle ABC. So if I were to name it, I would draw my triangle and write A, B, C. When we see this and we read it triangle A, B, C. An angle of a triangle can be right, acute, or obtuse. Okay, activity 1 asks us to identify right, acute, and obtuse angles in triangles. We also need to use the triangle color guide to color the triangles below. So, any right angles we color need to be red, obtuse angles will be blue, and acute angles will be orange. Let's look at the first triangle here. This triangle appears to have three angles that are less than 90 degrees. With all three angles being less than 90 degrees, this triangle would be classified as an acute triangle. According to my chart, I need to color it orange. Looking at the next triangle, I notice that one angle appears to be larger than 90 degrees. I also see that these end angles appear to be smaller than 90 degrees. So noticing that one is bigger than 90 degrees, I know that that's an obtuse angle. With one obtuse angle, my triangle becomes obtuse. According to my color chart, I need to color obtuse angles and triangles blue. I will do that now. Looking at the final triangle down here, I notice that there's a square in the corner. Now, when an angle makes a square corner, I know that it's a right angle. When there's one right angle in a triangle, the other two angles are always acute. They do appear to be smaller than 90 degrees in this triangle, so I know that this triangle is a right triangle, so I will color it red. Please pause and investigate the remaining 6 triangles. Identify whether it is an acute, obtuse, or right triangle. When you make note of which triangle you think it is, and then resume the video to see if you were correct before coloring, in case you need to make any changes. Alright, 4th graders, here are the correct classifications on the triangles. If you had any trouble with these, we will discuss them in class further. Please pause to make sure your page looks like mine before continuing. Try this, 4th graders. A. Name the triangle with one right angle. Okay, let's look at the 3 triangles we have. We have triangle ABC, we have triangle PQR, and we have triangle XYZ. Now, if I were to look at these and think, which one might have a right angle? I remember from the last page that if it makes a square corner, that it's a right angle and a right triangle. So I see that in PQR, there is a little blue square which indicates that I have a square corner there. So that definitely is my triangle with one right angle. So on the line, I'm going to write triangle PQR. B says, name the triangle with one obtuse angle. Okay, well I only have triangle ABC and XYZ left to choose from. So if I look at those two, well, angle Y looks pretty large to me. It looks bigger than 90 degrees. So, and X and Z look like they're smaller than 90 degrees. So I think that one's my obtuse angle, angle Y, and it makes my triangle obtuse. So on line B, I will name that triangle, triangle X, Y, Z. Okay, I only have one triangle left for C, which says name the triangle with 3 acute angles. However, I want to be 100% sure that that's my acute triangle. So in order to decide if this is truly my triangle with 3 acute angles, I'm going to check all 3 angles to see if any of them can make a square corner. I'm going to take blue and I'm going to draw at the triangle a little square corner over the angles. Now I know it might be a little hard to see, but I can tell that angle B does not make a square corner. So let's try angle A. Nope, still doesn't make a square corner. We have one angle left to try. And C doesn't seem to make a square corner either. So I can see that all 3 of my angles are less than 90 degrees and none of them create a square corner, knowing now that my triangle with 3 acute angles is triangle ABC. Please pause to make sure your page looks like mine before continuing. Okay, 4th graders, you're almost finished. Just return to your teacher's webpage and complete the exit slip. See you tomorrow.